Happy Monday, my design dude and dudettes. It's John, your stay-at-home designer, just coming at you with some updates here. I'd missed last week, a couple reasons. The smoke was ridiculous, but also had some family things I was taking care of. So no vacation, unfortunately, but I guess being with family and stuff, you can consider that a nice vacation. So we'll just call it a staycation at that point. But check it out. We got some closes here. There's some opening trades, and then I'm going to cover our current positions and where we're at, and give you an idea of what I think I'm seeing in the marketplace. But you never know. It could always change. Nonetheless, go ahead and hit the like button to get this out. And if you are not subscribed, you should definitely be subscribed already. I like to give updates, and this is going to help you out in your trading in the future. So check us out. We're at Gilead Sciences, ticker GILD. We traded the 9/18 expiration, which we're getting close to, actually. I think it's 4 days. It's closing this week. We ended up closing at a 60% profit here, and we were trading the 65 and the 62.5 strikes. Total days in trade 35. Now, some of the past parts of the system I told you about is usually we can close these out sooner. At times, there are times where it won't close out well, and we have to let the probabilities play out over time, and this is one of those. So 35 days in trade. Let's look at GILD. And to give you some ideas, we had entered this on 8/10 here. So that was at $69 was the price of entry. So we were way up here. And let me just zoom in a little more for you. So 8/10. And you can kind of see throughout the life cycle, our strike was at the 65 mark. And we'd actually breached that for about 1 to 2 weeks. And so I was actually sitting at a loss for about half the 35 days in trade. And you kind of just have to be patient and let it play out. And this morning, you'll see this big pop. I had my order in for above my 50% price target. And so it popped this morning and basically closed out for me. If I wouldn't have hit that, I would have tried to close somewhere around the 50% mark. So luckily this worked out. Like we said, we entered this at about a 72% chance of success, and it worked out for us well. If not, we're at least managing our risk a little better. And every once in a while you're gonna have losers. That's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles on that one there. So not too bad. I'm okay with that. Trade worked out well. But with that, I opened a new trade today, and we actually opened up in Shopify. So SHOPA. That is a Canadian really poor joke. So don't penalize me on that one, eh? Now the 10/16 expiration, and we're looking at a 73% chance of success here. So pretty good trade. The current stock price actually is at $9.30 almost, so $927.45 when we entered. I'm trading the 8.45 short strike, and my protection here is at 8.40. We took in $145 of credit, and our break even is at $843.55. So this means that between now and 10/16, I need this trade price to print anywhere above $843.55 to make a profit, or even say break even at expiration. So I like these odds. Personally, when I'm looking at Shopify, let's see here. I can see actually a really strong support here about the 900 level. And the only reason I'm eyeballing that is we've touched this a couple times and have bounced. And so every time we touch, it sort of, and sort of verify with like a bounce away, we're kind of telling ourselves like, hey, this is a valid level. And usually like those even numbers like 900, 800, etc., those do tend to offer sometimes like a psychological level, and this looks to be that. In the instance that it's not, I still have about a 56 dollar cushion basically. So I'm not too worried on that front. I like the trade, I like the credit, I like the risk and reward that we have here. So we'll see how this shakes out. My hope is that maybe I can close this out in about 2 to 3 days with about a 30% profit, and I'll definitely keep you up to date as the week goes on. But not too bad, really great trade. And then in general, the market does have what I think is some weakness. I'll cover that in a minute, but let's just go over some of the other trades that we currently have. So AMD is one. I know this one's in the money, and our trade price here, we're at the $80 strike, and so you can see we just kind of are hovering around it and a little below it. So right now this is currently a loser, but I've got, I think, 33 days left in this trade, so let's see how it goes. Letting the probabilities play out. We're kind of sitting at an okay support level now. I'm not too worried. If we get to that point where it's getting closer to expiration and it's still a loser, we'll figure out a way to adjust it or manage our risk. Okay, next, Mo. I'm probably closing this out before market close today. We got about an hour and a half left in the day. But essentially, I'm sitting at 70% profit. Just kind of a quick turnaround, put credit spread at the 42 level, and we've bounced off of that. Not too bad. Pretty good weekly premium there for income. Next is Apple. And Apple, I have a short strike at 105, and you'll see we've had some weakness. You know, we came from about 140 all the way to basically 110, so pretty quick drop in about a week and a half. And they had their split recently, big run up. Them and Tesla are kind of the news makers for everything, but nonetheless, we're above the strikes at 105. We've still got some room to run and basically 32 days left in trade, so we got time. Let's see how that goes, but sitting at an okay profit for now. Okay, so next we've got gold, GLD. I actually put this one on last week on mobile while I was out, and so definitely apologize. There's no entry video here. And given the circumstances being out and with family, I'm okay with this trade. It worked out pretty well. But we're at the 176 strike, so we got some room to run too. About a 73% chance of success. And I'm a big fan of the metals right now. Gold, silver, I guess digital metals and Bitcoin. I like them too, so they're looking good. And then next, let's talk about our darling Tesla. Big pop today, about 9-10% gain. Looking really good, I guess. Good question mark. I'm a fan of Tesla, as you may know. I'm a big kind of long-term crazy mega Super Bowl for them. There's Battery Investor Day coming up this month. I think it's the 21st or 22nd, so be on the lookout for that. And what I find interesting is the volume. You'll see the volume's been starting to drop. The implied volatility is still relatively high, which is nice, but the volume's starting to drop. So we've had big drops, volume was picked up, and you know, personally, if I was thinking about my most ideal scenario, I prefer us to like kind of just stay in a really tight range, really low volume, and then when Battery Investor Day picks up, you know, you just see like a very positive expectancy, a big positive move to the upside. But since when do we live in a world where everything works out the way you want it to go? Let me know if you're in that. I'll join you. But not too bad. We're at the 348 strike, so you can see it got tested last week. But actually, I wasn't too worried. I ended up actually buying shares in a long-term account at about 330. I think it was like 333 or something. And I'm happy with it. I don't mind holding those. And even if we went more negative, not only would I bag hold, but I'd probably buy more shares. So that's just kind of my overall bias. You know, always make sure you keep your risk in check. And this is just educational content. You know, I'm not like some financial advisor or anything of that sort. This is just me trying to help people learn how to better take control of their future, their finances, and sort of open them up to the realm of discovering more. But always seek the expertise of a financial advisor if you do require it, and you always know you understand the risks here. So that's a big one. But with that being said, let's look at the overall markets too. Okay, so in the Qs, we saw some weakness last week, but honestly, this really big volume bar with kind of an upwards closing hammer is not bad. It's just that we closed below it the next day, so that does kind of tell me that we're still a little bit confused. Originally in crazy land, basically the old market, after a day like this, we would have just kept going straight up to the moon. Now though, we're in sort of a sideways range. I think we maybe go between here, like sideways for a little bit, but I definitely don't foresee us going into like a massive down move yet. I think that's more longer term. Quite honestly, there's a lot of political figures that have a lot of heavy influence in the market, and there's a big event coming up in November, and so for that reason, I don't really foresee a massive move down in that respect. However, the point of a black swan event is that you don't see it coming, so that is something to always know. But the best way to manage that is to keep your risk in check. So if you're trading with basically less, 5% or less of account in each trade, then you really don't run as much risk as if you go all in. So keep that in mind. That's always really important. SPY kind of has some similar price action to the Qs here. And realistically, if I had to pick, I think IWM is maybe the weakest of the bunch that I'm seeing. To give you some ideas here, we kind of have what was sort of a support a few weeks back when we were on some older videos. You'll now notice is resistance. So this like 155, 154 mark. We're having trouble printing below it at first, and now we're actually below it and having trouble printing above it. So this is a strong one to look out for in IWM. The commodities, IWM, some of the international markets seem to be looking like similar to this chart. So IWM to me feels like the real economy, whereas SPY and QQs are kind of maybe either tech heavy, inflated, influenced, however you want to call it. Realistically, I don't know where we go from here, but I'm just giving my thoughts on that. So I'm curious what you guys think. Go ahead and please hit that like button. We want to get this out to other people, help them learn and grow and become better at taking charge of their future. And if you haven't subscribed, do that already. You've been here. You know what you're going to get. Nothing but quality from me. So go ahead and subscribe. I really appreciate your time. Again, thank you, my dudes, my dudettes. I hope you enjoy the rest of the week. I'm going to come at you with whatever other trades we end up closing and opening. And I guess I will see you on the next one, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.